Plenty of versions of you already exist. Have you ever heard this quote? Because I have, and I was like, yeah, plenty of versions of you exist. What? I always heard it and I basically knew it, but I've never understood it until like yesterday, and also accidentally. Let's take an atom. Okay, let's say that I am holding an atom. Inside the atom, there are electrons, okay? And the thing is that there are plenty of electrons in the atom circling the seed of the atom, right? And the thing is that you don't know, because you can't see, where are the electrons. Okay, when you can see the electron is when you're focusing on the place. Meaning, if I will look here, poof, I will see an electron. And then I will look here, poof, I will see another electron. And then I will look here, poof, another electron. Because all of the electrons exist already at this atom at the same time. You can't see it, but when you decide to focus on this place, as I said, poof, it appears. So everything exists simultaneously. Now, because I was, reading the book, I know a bit what I know a bit. I don't know how to rap, that's for sure. Or to freestyle. Now I will share with you the conversation that I had yesterday with my partner that led me to the understanding. We were talking about habits. And the thing with habits is that your habits describe your personality, meaning your habits are your identity. Okay? So I shared with him that how I am now changing some habits of mine, is that I am reading a note every day that is pinned on my mirror in my bathroom. I am reading every day that I, is my identity, is doing this and that. For example, my identity is the kind of person who's putting her focus on herself, on her destiny, on her hobbies, on her personal growth, and on the people she has around her that she loves. I am saying that to myself because I want to be less on social media. True thing that I wrote that I read every day. So I try to make myself believe that this is my identity. And while explaining this to my partner how to do it, instead of trying to focus, you have plenty of ways to change your habits. But this thing I'm trying right now, and it feels good, to be honest, to also work from the identity, and from that, like as they said always, Joe Dispenza says that behave like the person you want to be. Behave as if everything already exists. So I am telling myself that this is my identity, and therefore I will behave the same as my identity, because my identity, it's my habits of thinking, habits of feeling, habits of behavior. And then I gave him an example. You see that in the past I was emotional eater. I can say now that I was addicted to food, and luckily you could never see it, and I was always working out, and luckily thank you to my body. Really, I was always so mean to my body, and now I understand that my body is so wonderful that he always maintain all of the food that I was consuming. So I was addicted to food for many years. It was my best friend. This is why when it was shitty, I went to food. When I was happy, I went to food. And I said, this was my identity for years. And how it was like in the, how I was behaving. I was the Rosalina who was eating outside 4 or 5 times a week. I was the Rosalina who always was thinking about food. and had to have a dessert every day and had to have a dessert in every restaurant. This was the Rosalina in the past. These were my habits, this was my behavior, because my identity was I am an emotional eater. And I said to my partner that now my identity is the Rosalina that eats for her body. And therefore I eat only like food that is homemade, and therefore I take care of my mind, body and soul, because I'm very aware of eating very good, not only for my body, but also it affects your mind, and also therefore it affects your soul. This more like woo-woo-y, but based on science, it affects your body and your mind. And because now I am this person, it's important for me to eat for my body and not to harm my body, and not to eat for my cravings. Because I need a dopamine hit, because I'm emotionally not stable right now. Now I eat for my body, and you don't even know the difference between how I was with food and between how I am now. It's huge, and I always was working towards it. But the moment I've started to listen to podcasts about why this is how you should live, why this is how you need, means love towards yourself and why you deserve it. And I started to listen and understand that how my habits of the Rosalina who emotionally it doesn't mean wonderful things about me, and it's not cool, and it's not, oh my god, let's eat this and this and that, and it's all of this crap. The thing was that when I changed my mindset, then I started to change my habits. It was easier for me. And also there I started to love my body, even though I look the same also as I was looking at the past. In the past, when I was an emotional eater, I looked the same, but I don't feel the same. And I love my body now, that in the past I was angry at my body. So I told my partner then that there was a version of me that was controlling me for years, and now there is another version of me. And then I said, wait a minute, both of the versions are in me. And I had this unhealthy version, and now I am a healthy version of me. But I am the one who's holding it. So it means that it was there. It means that they are existed at the same time. Now let's take the atom, okay, that all of the electrons are already exist in him, but we can see each and one of them not at the same time. They are exist at the same time, but we can see each when we focus, right? It doesn't mean that the others are not there. They are there. But I can see only the one that I'm focusing on. Okay? So same with me, that I am basically plenty of atoms that are plenty of electrons. So I hold plenty of electrons, let's say versions of me in me. And the ones that I am focusing on, these are the ones that I will see. These are the ones that there will be in my reality. I will give you another cool example. Okay, each and one of us holds genes, correct. Each and one of us holds plenty of diseases that comes to us because of genetics, right? Diseases, traumas, plenty of more stuff, generational trauma, all of these things. And the thing with genes is that even if you have a gene of some disease, it doesn't mean that 100% you will wake it up. Because you need to wake it up. It exists, but it can exist there and not control you forever. But if you will wake it up, boom, it will control you. And also, it's not like a virus. It's not that you're waking it up, the jinn, bam, woke up, and then like the jinn, haha, now I'm in control. No, it takes time. This is why there is that thing that you can like catch the disease when it's early, when it develops, or I don't know, I don't understand a lot of how they do that, but that's what I've heard. So, but I know for sure that it's not immediate like a virus. It takes a lot of years to develop until it becomes part of you, until it becomes your identity. Because when a person has a disease, it's hard to not take it as an identity. Because when you're not healthy, this is the thing that you want the most, to be healthy, right? So this is exactly the same with the plenty of personalities, plenty of versions that I have that exists in me. Because each one of us could go to a different directions in life, that this direction would impact your identity, right? And right now, when there is a habit and you choose that you want to change a habit of yours, it will change everything in your life. A habit, thinking, it's also habits, how you used to think. Because thinking triggers an emotion, and it's a conversation that your body is having all the time. So it's a pattern, it's a habit, right? And when you change a habit of thinking, usually it's about yourself and also about how you see the world, then your behavior would change as well. And then the physical reality would change as well. Let's take the example of genes, diseases and traumas and whatever. If they would not exist in my body, it wouldn't be possible to trigger them. I have to trigger them so they would wake up and start to take control after a while. And the cool thing, it's also with changing a habit. Changing a habit, it's not like a virus. It takes time. So, like diseases and like everything, it takes time. But it all starts when me putting the focus on which electron, on which personality I would like to become from all of the things that exist already. I can become whoever I want. So is you. And then something that I understood today. Each and one of us has his own dreams, right? Each and one of us has his own talent, his own things that excites them. And since I was a child, I was saying to my mom, from a very young age, something like 12. And I'm sharing this with you. It's something that not many people know, to be honest, but now I feel that I can share it right now. That, hey mom, I'm going to be a millionaire. I am a millionaire. And I'm going to be a millionaire when I grow up. Because rich dad, poor dad. So rich mom, poor mom. My mom is in the poor mom. She looked at me and she laughed. And I didn't care. I continued saying it to my mom once a while, and she was always like, okay. And I just knew it. Something in me knew it. And this is like something like huge. Okay. So I'm going to take you to the something that more in the physical world, realistic, let's say, because for me it's realistic. And I will give you the example that I'm here doing those videos. This is not my language, obviously. When I decided to become a YouTuber, I didn't know what the hell I'm going to do. Obviously, that English wasn't the language that I used to speak and write and do things. So the logic was, what the hell? Why should I do that? No one understood why the hell I'm doing that. Also, I didn't understood, but I just felt that this is the right thing to do. And even in the beginning, when it was super hard for me, because as I said, it wasn't a habit of mine to film, to edit, to write, to speak in another language, and to do everything. Also here, and I also have a skit channel, so these are two things that wasn't in my habit. But I wanted to become this person. I wanted to become this person who's like doing the motivational speaker. I wanted to become a comedian. And this is why I have to take actions to wear these identities. And something in me told me to go after these identities because they were exist in me already, right? Because my partner didn't had this inner voice that told him, go and be a motivational speaker. Maybe this identity, and I think that everything exists, but you will receive an inner call to go to the genes that you have in you, because all of the diseases are exist in the world, but I don't have in me all of the genes of all of the diseases, right? I have me some types of me, some identities that are like very, very strong, can become very strong. And I pursue after the identities who are already exist in me. If it wasn't exist in me, I wouldn't receive the idea to become it, right? If I'm not a painter, so I wouldn't receive the urge to become this identity of a painter. Now, maybe in the future I would, I will be, but now I don't. You know what? Even an easier example. For some reason, I was always like fascinated by what is going on the galaxy. I was never interested in the subject, like putting my focus on it, but part in me was always thinking that it's so interesting and so cool what is happening in like above what I can see. And couple of months ago, I've seen a video from the channel StarTalk of Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I fell in love. He's an astrophysicist. I fell in love with it, and I wasn't surprised. This is the thing. It was amazing for me, and it didn't surprise me because I remembered that there were times that I was, interesting, the stars. And I could always watch the stars for hours. Like I can lay back and just look at the sky. It happened to me a couple of times when I had the opportunity to just 2 or 3 hours, just without talking to anyone, just look at the stars. Don't know. This is why I wasn't surprised. Something in me, like there was a part in me when I started to read books a couple of years ago. I wasn't a reader. I started to read only when I was 21, 22, and it was very hard for me to read. But for some reason, I kept going and kept trying to read even though I was falling asleep while reading. Something in me kept going after that. Same with the habit of journaling that I have right now and meditation, because this identity of me, the identity of Rosalina that reads books, was already exists. And this is why part in me that wasn't in control was going after that. I was always wanted to journal. I wasn't journaling, I wasn't writing at all, I didn't know how it feels. But part in me, because it was existing me already, wanted to keep trying again and again and again until 2 years ago, I started to journal. And that's my identity. Now I'm Rosalina that is journaling 5 times a week because it's a habit of mine already. When I started, I was journaling for many months every day until it became a habit. And the cool thing, basically I understood right now, and also even the thing with when I was telling my mom that I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm not a millionaire in this physical reality yet. And I forgot for years that I was telling it to my mom. Only recently I was like, oh my God, I'm thinking that I'm a millionaire. Like in my reality, in my true reality, in my inner reality, I'm a millionaire. Like my 12 years old me knew it with confidence. It means something because, especially because kids are more open to also the spiritual world because they don't have the judgment from the outside or other people. And again, I didn't say it before, but spirituality and religion, for me, it's not the same. They many times work the same, but it can also, I'm only spiritual, I don't have any religion. And what I understood today that excites me the most, it's after giving you those examples and understanding that all of the identities exist already, and they exist already in me, in this huge atom with all of the electrons. It means that everything that I want to do in life, every path that I want to walk on, every identity that I want to become already exists. Because if it wouldn't exist, I would not go after it. I would not have the urge to go after it, or even more than that, I would not have the ability to put my focus on the electron in the atom. I would not have this thing in me that says, hey, look there, boom, see something. Hey, look there, boom. So it means that every big dream that I have, it exists already in me. This is the reason I have this dream. This is the reason I see this identity, because it exists already. And if it exists already, it also have a path for me that maybe I don't know. For me personally, every time I started to walk on a path, it didn't reveal all of the path. It reveals the first step and then the second. But it means that it exists. And it means that you and I and all of us on this planet can dream big. And all of us on this planet have a place. And all of us on this planet can become whoever we want to become. And this is the thing. It's whoever you want, because who I want to become, it's different than what you want to become. And therefore we have a place for everyone, because there is no one who have the same fingerprint as you have. This is why when people say that, there are plenty of actors, there are plenty of musicians, it doesn't matter. There is no one on this planet who's doing what you're doing like you. And if you have this inner voice to tell you to go after that, it means that this identity that you can imagine exists already. For me, when I was a emotional eater, I couldn't know how it feels like to feel good, to feel healthy, to feel light, to feel like I feel today. Okay, I don't know how it feels like, but I knew that this version of me exists. This is why I exist. This is why I want it. This is why I wanted to become healthier. We can do everything. Everything is possible. This is the thing. Everything is possible. Everything that you want to have in your life, to live as yourself, is possible. The only thing you need to do is to put your focus on the electron, meaning identity that you want to become. And it can be everything. It can be from Rosalina that reads books, it's my identity. From Rosalina who's journaling, it's my identity. From Rosalina the YouTuber, it's my identity. Now I'm here to tell you, because this is my identity, to tell you that your identity, all of the wonderful identities that you see, that you want to become, it's possible and they are existing already. And the only thing that you need to do is put your focus on them and free yourself from the control of the identity that's controlling you now, and step by step, and trying again and again and again and again, because maybe it will take 10 tries until you will make it, until you will start walking on this path. Because the old identity will hold you back, because it's safe, it's the comfort zone, it's the known, it's okay, it makes sense. But I'm here to tell you that it's possible, and I fucking understood it today how. And now I just felt that I have to share it with you right now, because you can do, and you need to know right now that everything is possible, because everything is fucking possible, everything, and everything exists in you, and all of the things that would make you feel the most wonderful person on this planet, and healthy and fun and alive, exist in you already. Choose it. Go for it. If someone has a problem with it, fuck him. This version of you exists. Go after it. Go after all of the wonderful versions in you that existed. You want to live them all. You don't need to choose one. They can go and live together. And you need to focus one by one. But eventually it will become you. The whole atom. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I hope that I help you understand this topic in a deeper way, in a way that we can understand it and not only know. For me, I can tell you for sure this understanding it changed me. It changed me. Every insight changes you, and I would be happy to change you, to help you to change for the better you. So thank you again for being here. If you would like to share in the comments what you think, if you have more things to say, I would be happy to read them, and so is the other people who read the comments, all of the people of this community. Thank you so much. I wish you a magical day, full of magical adventures and full of magical identities and versions that exist in you to wake up and live your life, their life, whoever life, only your life, hopefully, with all of the identities. Thank you.